Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. That sounded a bit French then. Anyway, today we're doing Summit I've been wanting to do for a while, and that's showing you guys the new Mullet bike. So I got this a couple of weeks ago and I've only really done one proper ride on it last week at Hard Rock. So this is the Sommet 297. So we've got a Mullet setup going on. Big wheel on the front, small wheel on the back. And if you guys have been following this channel for a while, you'll know that I had, or still have, a full 29er Sommet, and that has got an interchangeable chip on it like this bike, so you can put a small chip on the back. So I have been experimenting with that, but this is a completely redesigned Sommet for this year, brand new from Vitus, and basically it is a 297 bike. It's a Mullet specific bike. You can't put a 29er in the back. It has got a flip chip on it, but the idea was that it would give you the same geometry as the full 29er bike, but with that smaller rear wheel. So we'll do a bit of a bike check, and then I've got 3 trails I'm going to ride today to test the bike out and give you guys a bit of an overview of what I think about the Mullet bike and how it rides. We're going to ride a jump trail, we're going to ride a flowy and bermy trail, and then we're going to finish on a steep and tech trail. So big variety of riding to test the bike on. And yeah, this is it. So we've got DVO suspension front and rear. We have the DVO Onyx D1 forks, 170mm of travel, and we've got a Jade coil shock on the back. These forks are DVO's like Enduro fork. It has the OTT adjustment in it, so that's the off the top setting. So basically you can adjust how sensitive the fork is, like in the first like 10-20% of travel. I've got that completely open, so the forks are as sensitive as possible. So big shout out to Compression Suspension, who did the forks and has done some fettling inside these. He's put some fresh oil in them, so they're like race oil, so I think it's a little bit more sensitive, a little thinner oil, so the forks are even more sensitive. And you guys may have seen a previous video where I actually had a blue pair of these forks, which I tried, and I was so impressed by them, but I just had to get the green ones to match the green shock and the green frame. I think it looks pretty badass, to be honest with you. Currently got DVO's mudguard on there, which I would usually be running a mudhugger mudguard, but we're just waiting for a new one to come through. It's not the best mudguard, if I'm honest with you. It's like, you can see it's quite short. It does the job, but it's not as good as a mudhugger, I'll put it out there. Hashtag blatant plug. Coil shock, 160mm of travel on there. Oh god, we're gonna knock the bike over. We're on a large frame. I am about 6'1"-ish in height, so if anyone's looking at getting a bike and wants to know what kind of size bike I'm running, I'm on a large, but I do run a medium e-bike, and I have actually considered trying a medium normal bike. I just feel more comfortable on slightly smaller bikes than bigger bikes. We've got Nukeproof Horizon wheels, which I'm a massive fan of. Got rim pack tyre inserts in there as well, just a bit more protection. These hubs sound absolutely amazing. We've got Shimano XT 12-speed drivetrain, a 32-tooth chainring on the front, 170mm cranks, a 170mm drop post, which I will be changing to a 200mm post, W2B rubber front and rear, and we've got a Nukeproof finishing kit. So we've got some 20mm high handlebars from Nukeproof, 760 wide, Shimano 2-pot XT brakes, and some nice Berg Tex to finish it off. I quite like the feel of these grips. I'm just trying out, nice and thick, like them. So what we're going to do, we're going to drop into the first trail, jump trail. So we'll see what the Mullet bike is like when it's airborne. In we go. Couple of berms. I feel the wheels snapping around. Concentrate a little bit. It's quite poppy. Step down. Oh, that's a bit blown out. So much work is going into this track. so fun. Whoa. Tracking the ground well. Good tests on the jumps. So that was interesting. Definitely felt the rear wheel was different popping off takeoffs. Obviously that track had berms on as well, and I feel the rear wheel does have that bit more of a snap around the corners compared to a 29 rear wheel. That's what I feel anyway. Popping off the jumps feels really good. Feels a little bit more towards what a dirt jump bike would feel when you're popping off a takeoff. I know that's not the best analogy, but that's probably the best way I can describe it. Felt quite comfortable in the air, quite maneuverable, and obviously I've ridden this trail before, so that probably accounts for things as well. So I'm trying to put that to the back of my mind and just try and ride a clean slate, if you like. But other than that, interesting stuff. So we're going to boost on up to stage 2 now, or the second track, and we'll see how the bike goes on berms and flow. So just pedaling up now to the second track. One thing I have noticed when it comes to pedaling a mullet up bike uphill, it's definitely, I don't think it's as efficient. I feel with a 29er, just having the bigger wheel, it's just a little bit more efficient, whereas the smaller rear wheel on this bike feels I'm not getting as much drive per pedal stroke, if that makes sense. Still gets you uphill and stuff, still feels comfortable to ride, but definitely notice a little difference in pedaling uphill. Okay, second trail, berms and flow. On Angry Sheep, a classic. Whoa. I do feel I can throw the bike into corners with confidence as well. Bit loose these turns. Oh. Feels surprisingly comfortable. It's pretty loose, so dry still, even after the rain. Whoa, loose gravel on the last turn. Nice. That one was fairly interesting. Like, that track is quite loose in the dry with lots of loose stones on there on the surface on top of hard pack stuff. It's kind of hard to get traction. And it's always about finding the right balance on your bike, I find. And I felt really comfortable on that then. I've not ridden like flat fast berms on this yet, so that was the first go on that. So quietly comfortable. Yeah, really cool. Interesting. Body position felt planted in the middle. The back end did feel like it was sat in some of the turns a little bit too much, but that necessarily might not be down to the wheel size. That could be the rear suspension being a little too soft, but overall enjoyed that. So final stage now, final track, steep and tech. Okay, third trail, steep and tech. It's gonna get wild. Oh, I've been down this one for a long time. Into the steep bit now. Christ, it's dry. Wow, these are really tight turns. You have to like hop your back wheel around them. Whoa, whoa, really missed that one. You can tell where a lot of people have missed these corners. Oh my god, that's tight. It's so dry and a little bit blown out. loose gravel everywhere. Whoa. Look at this one. Straight into the next one. Not sure of the name there. Whoa. Rear wheel's a little bit easier to manoeuvre around the tight bits. Oh. I think this is quite a challenging trail on any bike. Whoa. So loose today. Looks like it's not had that many riders down it in a while. Onto the bottom of the downhill tracks. Nice big corners. Whoa, hooking. I like that. So that was the steep and tech track I was riding. Very interesting ride. A lot different to riding a full 29 down there. Yeah, it was really steep, tight and janky. If you're ever in that track, it's called Date Night in Leithen. And there's a lot of like quite steep dropping corners that you can't really rush too much. One thing I did notice on this bike, I was, like I would on any bike, I was hopping the rear wheel around a little bit just to straighten out the corners a little bit. This bike actually felt a little bit easier to maneuver. I definitely could feel the rear wheel in the tighter turns, because I don't know if you noticed in the video there were some of those turns are very snappy, very tight. The corner almost like pushes you out because they're that tight, and they're quite cool to generate speed out of, but it's so steep you don't want to get too giddy and too wild and blow off the track, which is what I was trying not to do, because it's still really dry up here even after all the rain, and it's still quite loose, so it would be really easy to get overexcited. But overall, really enjoyed the first ride, well, first proper ride on the Mullet. Don't know what your guys' thoughts are on these bikes, if you guys prefer the Mullet setup or are you still on full 29 or even full 27.5 wheels. Keen to know in the comments, let us know. If you've got any questions on this bike as well, pop them below. I'll get them answered, and hope you enjoyed it, guys. See you next one.